That's pathetic. That's pathetic, Dallas. Ugh. You know, it speaks to the guts of this team when you've got a team on the road who's up 2-1 and you jump on them by 15 or however many points we had. And when they come back, that of course that's testament to the Spurs. They're a good team. They're going to come back. But when you can't get a field goal for 6 minutes to start a quarter, and you're a team of the Dallas Mavericks who average over 100 points a game and who is, a great jump shooting team, a team that can score. And this is just this one game though, and that's a credit to the SanAnonio Spurs. And I gotta say straight up right now, I didn't think the Spurs were capable of this. I really wasn't. Yes, they played well at the end of the year, but I thought the Dallas Mavericks had enough talent, had enough depth to handle anything the Spurs could throw at us. I was completely wrong, and if and more than likely the Spurs take this series, my hat goes off to them as being the much better team than Dallas right now, and they've proven that over the first four games so far. It's and what speaks to the Spurs is one of the main things I said earlier about the depth. I thought the Mavericks had really great depth. The big three for the Spurs wasn't one we lost today. George Hill and DeJuan Blair were the two main contributors for the Spurs today. And that's not saying that there's some scrubs or anything, but their stars were struggling, and we couldn't take advantage of it. It looked like we were, and then just something happened. It's like the Mavs. You saw it during the season. We won a lot of games, but I was critical of them that we would get 20-point lead, 25-point leads, and end up winning by 6, end up winning by 5, because the Mavs just get complacent. And you can't do that against the Spurs in the playoffs. You can't do that. So down 3-1 in the series, losing both games in San Antonio, and then splitting in Dallas. After the first two games, I was pretty laid back. I wasn't happy, but after the first two losses, anyways, I was like, I can see this because I thought, hey, the Spurs are a good team. They can beat us in Dallas, but I thought we were a good team. We can get one in San Antonio. So I thought we'd split either 3 or 4, and. No. Mm-mm. So this was a physical game. This was definitely a rivalry game. You could see there was a lot of animosity on the court. Not hurrah. Can't have that. You can't. It was physical, but you weren't even a part of that. Like you just kind of came in and then you threw Mono on the floor. You can't do that. That's ridiculous. Both sides were getting chippy and whatnot. Again, Dallas once again at the end made a valiant effort to come back. But it's like it's after you just screwed yourself. So it's like, yeah, it's like a guy who gets off of drugs. It's like, yeah, congratulations, but why did you get on drugs in the first place? This is getting ridiculous. So now, am I saying this thing's over? The realist in me should say that. But I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan. I'm a fan on here. So I look at it as the most optimistic you can. You look at Game 5. You better win Game 5. You just got waxed in 2 games in San Antonio. You're coming back on elimination. Your home court. You can't win that. You're not worth your salt. You shouldn't be in the playoffs. Then you got Game 6 back in San Antonio. You need to win that game. Because if you can't win a playoff game on the road, you're not going to do well in the playoffs. And then you got Game 7, and that's the toss-up. So I'm not even worried about Game 7, which may not even exist, may be over on Tuesday. But to give me any kind of hope or anything, that's how I have to look at it. But from just a basketball standpoint, from a watching the games, it's hard to think that the Dallas Mavericks can stop this team for 3 games. I don't know why I am, but I'm pretty confident the Mavs can win Game 5. Just because I think they've got enough of that left. Yeah, am I bitter? Yeah, because as I've talked about before, being a Mavericks fan's been tough, and after 2007, I was pretty calloused over. I watched them, I cheered for them, but I didn't really put my heart into it. But then you see them fight, you see them make moves, you see in the trades and stuff like that. And you're like, man, this team can do it. You get back in with them. You're like, I'm going to live and die with this team, and then they just do this to you again. So, So there's the Dallas Mavericks. Not over yet, no, but it sure ain't looking good. Congrats, San Antonio, so far. You guys have whipped our tails up and down the floor. and proving that you're just tougher than Dallas right now. Dallas needs to get a backbone. They need to find one before Tuesday.